Good day, everyone. I'm Kimberly Ellison Taylor, and I get to be the chair of the MACPA Foundation. Today, I am joined with Anoop Mehta, past chairman of the American Institute of CPAs and the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, as well as a scholarship. There's a scholarship in his family's name. Thank you, Anoop, for your generosity. And also, very importantly, one of our future bosses, Helena Sudina, a future boss from Towson University. And so, what we thought we'd do for just this short amount of time is share our backgrounds and then go right to you, Helena, to tell us more about you. And then we'll go through some questions that I think our audience would be very much interested in. So, I think my story is well known. I grew up in the inner city of Baltimore and wanted to be a CPA in the third grade. Someone came to my elementary school. They said, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an engineer. And when they said accountants manage the money, I was hooked. And so, fast forward, today I get to be a CPA and live my best life. Being a CPA absolutely changed my life. And so every chance I get, I share that, I share my story, and I tell everyone, please, please, please consider the most amazing profession. And with that, I want to turn it over to my colleague, Anoop Mehta, to share his story before we get to Helena.
Good morning, Kimberly. Always a great day when I get to spend with you and Helena. Of course, Helena, unlike Kimberly, I didn't decide to be accountant in third grade. I waited till I was in eighth grade when I was 12. Actually, I'm an immigrant. I immigrated from India back in the early 70s. And accounting was kind of from growing up, accounting was part of my life because my dad was a chartered accountant. So I saw him do the amazing things, helping his clients and things like that. And I knew early on that that's kind of what I wanted to do. And fast forward, I'm a CPA, I'm a CGMA, but I work with rocket scientists. My entire career has been in the space environment, NASA environment, NOAA environment, and studying this beautiful planet that we live on. So I get to work with some amazing individuals. And I started with a small company as an intern in college, about the same time, about the same age you were. And I went to University of Maryland, and ultimately I became the CEO of that same company. But it was the CPA that helped me get to where I went. So that's kind of a little bit about my story, and we're both gonna enjoy talking to you, Alina. Of course, I know I spent some time with you earlier. It was fantastic. So Kimberly, my sister, I called her my sister because truly she is my sister. I'll let you kick it off with our conversation with Helena.
Absolutely. So, Helena, first we'd like to hear a little more about you, what year you're in, what you're studying, what your future plans are.
So I'm a senior at Towson, so last year of undergrad, and I'm doing the accelerated master's program. So I have an additional year. So I do 2 classes spring semester that count towards my master's. So then I have one more year. So one more year, then I'm done. I have interned at a few CPA firms. So I will be interning, and I took a full-time offer from Ellen and Tucker, which is a regional firm in Baltimore. So I'm very excited about that. That's like more recently. And I'm a late bloomer compared to you guys for like accounting. I didn't realize I wanted to accounting till the summer before my senior year of high school. So very late compared to you guys. I committed for soccer my I guess like early junior year of high school to play soccer at a D2 school in West Virginia. And I was like, I need a major. Like, I love school, but like, I need to pick something. And I actually never took an accounting class in high school, and it was offered, but I just never took it. But I was in this special program that's called the Homeland Security Protection Program.
Mhm.
So I did a capstone project my senior year, and over the summer, I had to think about something to actually like do the project on. And I stumbled into forensic accounting because I wanted to do like forensic science, but it was already taken. So I kind of stumbled into forensic accounting. And I loved it and loved working on it. So then I ended up winning the whole like thing, like best capstone project. So I was like, maybe I should continue with this if I'm doing good. So here I am, I guess 4 years later, still loving accounting.
How
Wow.
exciting, Helena. And
Mhm.
I tell you what, so we're going to ask you questions, and then you get to ask us any questions that you might have
Mhm.
for each of us. And
Mhm.
so my question for you is around Student Leadership Academy. You had an opportunity to participate in MACPA's program, and I just want to get your thoughts on why that would be a good program that other students should consider and some of the things you gain from the program.
Number one, students should always go, even if you're not like sure about accounting, you should go no matter what. You learn from business professionals. I know it's from big fours to even regionals. Everyone was there and wanting to help you. I had a question not even related to accounting, just related to working. And they were like, "Oh, I'll tell you all about that. I want to share all my knowledge so you can do it better than I am doing now." We got to do a case study with Samantha Fisher, who is an MACPA champion, and then she just won the 2024 Women's Award for Emerging Leaders. So, congrats, Samantha. Um, she was amazing, and we actually did a real life scenario that she actually worked on a few years back, and the client said like okay for us to work on it. So it's really interesting. And then we worked with Pat St. Clair, who works in Ellen and Tucker, so I'll be his coworker coming up. Also a MACPA student champion and oh champion, not student champion. He's a champion. And worked on professional communication, and he was just like the devil's in the details and how you talk to people, how you communicate. Like it's things you don't even think about and you don't learn in a normal college class. So
Mhm.
no matter what, like going to it is going to improve at least something in your career, your college career, and then in your professional career.
No,
Well,
that's a
I think
great
it's,
answer.
yeah, I think it's great that, there's a lot of credit to be given to you, Lena, for actually taking advantage of that opportunity, right? I believe there are so many different opportunities available today than they were when, Kimberly and I were in high school. So you took that opportunity, which is a credit, and I'm really, really excited that you did that.
Yeah, definitely. I actually moved. I had like an appointment that day and I was like, I need to go here. So I
Yeah.
had like I have to move that.
Yeah. That's one of I think that's one of the things that as you're, advancing in your career and as you're growing up, it really is how are you prioritizing your things that are, and which is great that you recognized it
Mhm.
and you're doing it.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So, Anoop, what question would you have for Helena? And then Helena, be thinking about your questions for us.
Okay.
She's like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what I would love to hear from you is now that you've gone through some little bit of that leadership, you're kind of you've got a job now, or a potential internship. How are you communicating to your peers, your colleagues about the exciting opportunities that are there in accounting? I mean, you saw it in forensic, which is fascinating, by the way. So how are you getting them engaged in in what the CPA profession is all about?
Yeah, so I definitely for my peers starting, a lot of students in accounting now, they're like, I'm either going tax or audit, and that's it. And I was like, there's a million a million, you worked with like rockets. Like there's a million different ways you could go with it.
Yes.
And I was like, if you don't like one thing, I bet you there's 20 more things that you do like
Mhm.
there. So just telling them, going to like fairs when you have the accounting open house Towson has every year, going to the MACPA events, you learn from so many different people and so many different type of firms that you're like, there is a spot for me in the profession, and you want to grow it. You're coming into it, you want to make your little stamp on it like you guys have, and then you just keep growing with it. For people I work with, I am very big on the MACPA. I always I have it on my water bottle, the MACPA. I am very big and I share a lot with it. And I always go to events. I'm like, you guys need to come to events. Like just come talk to people. I know like the accountings, they're like accountants are quiet. I'm like, no, it's just that it's a bias. Just you gotta talk to people. You'll learn so much more. So I always tell people, just come. I'm taking this from a noob because at the golf tournament, he told me always say yes. So telling
Oh,
people say yes.
fantastic. Now,
Say
I mean,
yes.
you and I played golf together. You think I'm shy? I don't think so.
Oh no, I don't think he's shy at all. My brother is an expert golfer, so I still have to learn how to play golf, Alina. So I'm working
Oh,
on it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I
I'm
gotta
working
learn
on
a
it.
new nose.
I know, I know. I'm gonna wait till I get a little bit better, and then he and I can go out together. I can't go out with him this bad, so I gotta wait. So, Helena, what questions do you have for us? What can we answer for you?
You both have gone to such great leadership and are well known in the accounting space all over the world. What advice or something that you learned when you were very young about accounting that you're like, people need to know this so they get into accounting?
So I guess I'll start first. So here's what I know about accounting. I didn't know it so much then, but I absolutely know it today. So people think of accounting just like the point you were making. They think of it only in public accounting terms, audit, tax, and advisory services. What I learned is that there are accountants everywhere. And I learned that young. So I was really excited to know that in today's language, there's an app for everything and there's an accountant for everything and every industry. So, in addition to public accounting, there's business and industry, which is where Anoop and I both sit. There's government, there's education, there's consulting, there's nonprofit. And so there's so many different ways that people can give back to the profession. And if someone was interested in an industry, let's say if someone said, well, Kimberly, I really like retail. I really like hospitality. I really like aeronautical, sector. I really like energy. I like financial services. You can map and align the things you're really interested in with a love and passion for accounting. I also recognize that for many people, they're thinking, well, Kimberly, I don't know if I want to be an accountant or a CPA for my entire life. And what does that mean? Well, for me, what I would tell them is that it's the foundation. It's a foundational skill set with great acumen that you can take anywhere. And there is this phrase that AICPA has, and it's a trademark, that basically says start here, go places. But I really, really believe that's true because I think if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be the CEO of a firm, you want to go and do other aspects of very, different career functions, chief information officer, chief transformation officer. Being a CPA is a phenomenal complement to those very things. And so that's what I would say to people who are thinking about this profession, to think of it very broadly and to think of all of the opportunities that absolutely exist if we're just willing to take advantage of it. So what say you, Anu, about that question?
So why I got interested in accounting is I saw the way my dad's clients trusted him and saw him as an advisor to their businesses, right? They wanted to hear his opinion. And that's what got me, oh my God, wouldn't it be cool? People come to me for advice, right? So that's what got me into accounting. But early on, I had this narrow mind about accounting in terms of what Kimberly talked about, public accounting, right? And in fact, when I graduated, I thought I was going to get my degree, take my CPA, and work for, back then it was the big eight firms, right? Because that was the thing to do. But I stumbled on this, one of my dad's clients, aerospace company. And I learned how much more there is, and I started working there as an intern. But I will tell you what accounting, people don't necessarily equate to accounting, is all the leadership things, the business acumen that you learn about, everything that touches, all businesses touch accounting. Accounting touches all businesses, right? And so there's so many different opportunities and so many different things that you can do with the accounting degree. These days, look at information technology, that's touching every single thing. That just, and if you look at organizations, where does that fall under? Usually the CFO's office, right?
Mhm.
So traditionally, we used to think about accounting. If you're in the corporate world, oh, you get to the CFO. But today, you don't think about just the CFO. You're now thinking about CEO roles. And you'll see now many, many, many businesses, the CEO role is coming through the CFO side because they get that. They get the business aspect of the running a business. And that's what happened to me. You know, I didn't have the technical background. I mean, I work with PhDs, like I said, rocket scientists, right? I don't understand that aspect of it, but they know I can run a business. And that's why I got to be where I got to be. So, I mean, there's just so many endless possibilities. The other day, I saw that one degree, which is accounting, 360 degrees of opportunities. I love that. I love that.
I absolutely love that as well. And I think, Helena, that's why we are so involved and we're visible because we want other people to know about the opportunities that we took advantage of. And being in the foundation and being a part of the foundation is extremely meaningful because the Student Leadership Academy is one of my favorite programs. I really like Women to Watch as well. But I think from a Student Leadership Academy perspective, it really ties into my desire to pave the way for our future bosses. And when I say future bosses, it's aspirational, it's inspirational. I want to speak it into existence. I want you and I want your colleagues and your group to really understand that we are dependent on you to do all of the things that you want to do and at the same time help us promote and protect the public interest. And so as the foundation chair, I go back to when I was growing up in the inner city of Baltimore and looking at the opportunities. My dad worked at Bethlehem Steel. He worked there for like 40 years. And so I understood the necessary, features of what life is about: hard work, persistence, grit, get up every day, work really hard, and just the recognition that we shouldn't take anything for granted, and that we should be grateful. And being grateful means recognizing that to whom much is given, much is required. And so, for those of us who are donors, all of our sponsors, the people who engage as speakers, who volunteer their time, all of the committees, the businesses that support our internships, every single person is a vested stakeholder. And I just can't thank you and I can't thank everyone enough for all that they do to support this mission of making sure we have people who are going to help promote and protect the business interests, the communities, and most importantly, Mr. and Mrs. Main Street investor, whether they live in Baltimore or whether they live on the Eastern Shore or in Western Maryland. We want everyone to see themselves sitting at the table of opportunity in the accounting profession. And the Maryland Association of CPAs is absolutely in the forefront. And so Anoop and I are very grateful to be also past chairs of the Maryland Association of CPAs. And you'll see we just keep giving because it's important. And Helena, we will expect that you will keep giving the great story you just told about what you would say to your peers and your colleagues. Amazing. Please keep doing that. I just want to thank everyone for listening to us today. Please do follow up if you have any questions at all. And if you want to make a donation, I'm very sure that we can help you with that as well. Have a great and an amazing day.
Thank you, Kimberly. Alina, it is absolutely a delight to see you again. I hope to see you soon. I'm hoping to make another visit to Towson soon. I really had a great time there and you got a chance to talk to so many wonderful students.
Yes.
Again, giving back, I really believe that the more you give, the more you receive. I could not have, achieved the things that I have been able to achieve without the support from MACPA and leaders like Kimberly. What Kimberly didn't, I don't think she said it, is that when she was the chair of the MACPA, I just came in as secretary treasurer. So she and I go way, way, way
Way
back.
back.
Yeah. And so I followed her career, and I am grateful for everything this profession has offered me. And again, Kimberly does this because she loves this profession, and I know the number of scholarships she's handed out, and we do this because we love this, and we want you to be successful.
Absolutely. So, Helena, we're going to let you have future
Yeah.
boss,
Yeah.
future chair of the MACPA. We're going to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Who knows? One day that might happen. Tell us your closing words.
Closing words. Well, first, I want to thank you both, and it was a pleasure seeing you guys again. If you're in the MACPA, you always cross paths with people you've met before. And Anoop, we would love you at Towson again. And Kimberly, I hope to see you at Towson. I'll be there if you're there. Closing words is number one, if you're a student in accounting or thinking about accounting, 100% do it. There are a million opportunities, no matter what we've said before. Any industry you want, you can go into it, and you can make a pathway. You could put a little stamp on the industry, put a stamp in the accounting industry, as these amazing leaders have. So just always go through with it, and accounting is amazing.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you.